I'm here to let you know that as Christians, I think weight loss has to be approached from a different perspective, a different worldview than what we have been taught typically. And I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way early. I'm not one of those type of people where I'm going to go to Leviticus and drop these food laws on you and tell you if you eat the way the Jews are supposed to eat according to the old covenant, that you'll lose weight, be healthy. I personally don't believe as a new covenant Christian that our approach to weight loss needs to be based off of the Jewish Old Testament laws. I'm not against those. If you want to follow those, you can. But I'm not trying to follow that pattern. What I want to talk about is weight loss from a Christian perspective, in the sense that there are a lot of tips on how to lose weight, how to be healthy, how to get in shape. There's a lot of different diets: keto, low carb, Atkins, those kind of diets. You've got the Mediterranean, you've got the whole food diets, the Whole 30. You've got all these different diets. But what they fail to address in the Christian life, in the Christian heart, is our relationship with food. Because as Christians, it's not enough that we just think about, I want to lose weight, I want to hit this number on the scale, I want to look a certain way. That stuff's okay. It can be vain, it can be sinful. But apart from the sinfulness of it, the vanity of it, if we have a heart problem with food rules won't solve that problem. And that's where I want to talk about today, because I think as a believer, I have struggled in the area of food simply because I don't address the heart enough. And when you think about diet, when you think about weight loss, food, and you think about the Bible, food is generally viewed as good. God gave green plants to eat in Genesis. After the ark, we were allowed to eat meat, bread, grains, vegetables, like all these things were good, meat. So it's not as if we need to cut out and restrict every food category. However, what happens with food, or at least in my life and maybe in yours, is as Christians and as part of our culture, we allow food to have a place in our lives that it should not have. And what I mean by that is food becomes prominent. Your identity, or at least mine, was wrapped up in what diet I'm on, what plan I'm on, so I'm low carbonate, I'm keto. So what I talk about and think about is nuts, meat, eggs, coconut oil, fat bombs, bulletproof coffee. And then when I'm on the Mediterranean diet, I'm eating grains, I'm eating vegetables, I'm eating fish, and then when I'm not on a diet, I'm eating everything in sight because I'm not dieting, I'm taking a break. But in all of that, especially in my life, food has become this identity marker, this thing that has so much prominence. And I'll just tell you, for me, I would track my food sometimes for more minutes or hours of the day than I spent praying and reading. So basically, food has this role in my life of basically functioning as an idol, because I wake up thinking about what food I'm gonna eat, and I'm logging every bite I eat. I bought a scale, so I'm literally weighing food, how many grams, and I'm putting it in my food app Chronometer, and I'm basing my happiness and sadness on if I hit my number or not. And get this, I would sometimes fudge my numbers in an app that ain't nobody else even seeing, because I wanted to hit my number. So I would tweak some of the serving sizes and all that. And what was I doing? How was I benefiting? I wasn't. Because in reality, all I'm doing is just putting food on a pedestal. And, we see this, I criticize the Israelites as they're coming out of Egypt because they get manna, they got enough to eat, and they're mad. I wish we could go back to Egypt and have what we used to have. I wish we could eat that. We had meat, we weren't starving, and they forget they were slaves. And I think food, in a way, for me was similar. Like, I wish I could eat like I did in my 20s. I wish I could eat like I did when I was in high school, but I was spiritually immature. I was way younger. And again, that's not a one-to-one connection, but the point is, I'm always wishing, that I could go back to some past weight, some past time in my life where I could eat a certain way. But then I start to realize, God starts to bring conviction that I can watch hours of dieting videos, and you'll hear one guy tell you the keto diet, intermittent fasting, insulin, that's the main thing you lose weight. You got another guy that'll tell you calories in, calories out. You got to eat less than you burn, and then you'll lose weight. And you've got all these philosophies and all these methods, but when you try them all and none of them work because you go on for a few weeks and then you binge, or you go on one of them and you just gorge yourself. I've gained weight on the keto diet because I thought I could eat bags of pistachios every day, or I thought I could eat as much butter and oil as I wanted. What God showed me is you've got to get to the heart of the matter. Stop worrying about the outside and deal with gluttony. Because if food is an idol, you see a drunkard, food is their idol. Food is their God. Not literal food, but drink. When you see a glutton, food is an idol. Their God is their belly. I didn't want to admit that or acknowledge the fact that when I smash a dozen cookies, a glass of milk after a full large meal, I'm overdoing it to where the next morning I wake up feeling sick, hungover from food, from sugar, from carbs. My weight goes up 5 or 6 pounds over a 2-week period because I'm bulking. That's just allowing my appetite to control me. And I want to be careful here, because it's not a sin to feast. It's not a sin to bulk. If you're lifting weights and you want to put on some muscle, you have to consume more food. It's not that I'm dealing with. It's not a sin to eat more protein. But what is a sin is when my whole life revolves around my appetite, what I'm craving right now, what diet I'm on, to where my family, my wife doesn't know what to cook because she doesn't know what diet I'm on. At church, they don't know what to put on my plate because I'm always on some different diet. And with gluttony, with overthinking food, I was having gut issues. I'm having, IBS symptoms because I'm eating food full of lactose. I know it makes me sick. I eat it anyways. I'm having GERD because I can't stop eating late at night. All of these issues are stemming from my gluttony. My cholesterol's high and I'm in my 30s. My blood sugar is, teetering on the edge of pre-diabetes. My insulin levels my fasting insulin is higher than it ought to be. Those are issues. My weight is creeping up little by little, all because of my appetite, all because of the flesh. And the Bible calls us put the flesh to death, to mortify the body, to kill sin, not to indulge it and then go on a diet, indulge it, then go on a diet. That's not it. So what I'm trying to share is just my experience that as a Christian, we've got to not settle for just dieting. We can't settle for the next fad. The Romans chapter 7, the law stirs up sin in us. When you tell the flesh not to covet, we start to covet. You tell yourself you can't eat cookies, what do you want? You want cookies. If you tell yourself you can't eat carbs, you want carbs. You tell yourself you can't eat meat, you'll want meat. And again, law doesn't help a sinful heart. Law is not going to cure gluttony in your heart. So instead of law, we simply have to focus on grace. We have to focus on the gospel. And this is what's transforming me right now. I haven't got it mastered. This is all new for me. This is my journey. I'm in the process. But what God is teaching me right now is that by grace, with his help, with the help of the Holy Spirit, I can lose the weight I want to lose. I can eat in a healthy way. And get this, with the Spirit working in me, I can eat whatever I want to eat, but I won't want to overindulge most of the time. And I think that's the freedom I love. You know, I don't want to be this person, this Christian, who I have to track every calorie I eat to be healthy. I don't want to be the type of Christian where I have to eat the most satiating foods and, you know, like, oh, if I make sure I eat the most satiating food in the morning, I'll make it to the evening, or I got to eat this massive satiating dinner so that I can make it through the night. I want to be free to sit down and be able to eat a meal, whether it's my dinner, you know, breakfast, whatever. It can have pasta, it can have bread, I can have a piece of cake, but not overindulge and not need it every day, every time. I want to be the guy that I don't have to eat a snack every couple of hours because I'm just thinking about food. And I'll just share this. Oh, sorry for the noise there. I'll just share this with you. It has been freeing to know that by the Spirit, when I prayed, don't let me gratify the flesh with regard to food, I'm able to eat 2 or 3 meals a day, maybe a snack, maybe a small bedtime snack. And I kid you not, I lost, I think 6 or 8 pounds in a matter of a few days. Some of that water weight, some of that just, I'm not eating 4,000, 6,000 calories per day. So my body is able to catch up. My body's saying thank you. My recovery this morning on my app that I use with my Apple Watch, my recovery was like 97, 98. It wasn't in the red because I didn't smash a massive bedtime snack. My sleep was nearly 100 because I'm able to fall asleep and stay asleep because I'm not digesting a massive meal as I go to sleep. I'm not eating this junk food snack as I lay down to go to bed. And so I just want to encourage you as a Christian, and we can talk more. I can share more with you about my journey. This whole channel, Redeemed Life, it's different than my other channel, Dwell with Christ, because I really do want to tackle health issues. One of the best performing videos on this channel was about protein and how to eat more protein. But guess what? Like, if I don't want to eat 200 grams of protein if I don't have to, you know, because again, I read a study, watched some videos that said you need to eat a gram of protein per pound of body weight. Well, I'm around 200 pounds. Well, it's hard work to eat 200 grams of protein, and to get lean, 200 grams of protein, low fat, low carb, like that's very difficult. But what if, I'm just asking, what if, I'm not trying to contradict science, what if I could lose weight without counting 200 grams of protein? What if we could lose weight without rigidly tracking calories, without weighing anything, simply by praying, Lord, don't let me gratify the flesh. Eat you a healthy breakfast, some protein, some carbs, some vegetables, some fruit. Eat you a healthy snack if you need one. Eat you a healthy lunch. Grab you another healthy snack if you need it. If you don't, you skip it. Eat a healthy dinner. Meat, vegetables, some starch, some fruit, maybe even a little piece of cake, maybe a couple of cookies at the end of the day. But you don't ever go overboard. You pray for God to help you understand when you're satiated, when you're satisfied. You don't have to rely on an app. You don't have to rely on a strict diet so that when you go to someone's house, you can have a slice of pizza and some salad, or you can have 2 slices of pizza, but you know when you need to stop, so that when you go out for dinner, you can have a good meal with dessert, so that at Thanksgiving, you don't have to eat till you're sick. What if there's something better than we have to diet. And that's where God got me here. It's like, do I have to diet the rest of my life? Or is there a better way to eat? Is there a better way, a spiritual way? Not trying to over spiritualize, but is there a spiritual way to eat that glorifies God in my body? Whatever you eat, whatever you drink, glorify God. Whatever you do, do it to the glory of God. Do all things as for the Lord. Is there a way to eat that way? Is there a way to drink that way? And that's what I feel like I'm discovering. And I'm just here to share it. If this video reaches 10 people, if it reaches 5 people, and you're one of the ones still watching, thank you. And I hope you're encouraged. I hope this helps you on your journey, because I know I needed the help. And there aren't a lot of videos, especially for Christians trying to lose weight, that tackle it from this perspective. I'm not trying to be prideful. I'm just simply saying, usually when I look up biblical weight loss, it's either food laws or it's, I ate only vegetables. It's I did the keto diet. But I want to try to approach this from a perspective of, God is giving me self-control. I don't have to diet strictly. I can eat healthier foods most of the time and eat junk food sparingly. And so if this benefited you, leave me a comment, like, subscribe, share it with somebody. I just want to help people, and if I can help you, that's great. One thing I'll let you know too, I used to be a health coach. One of my dreams is to be a Christian-based health coach, especially for pastors, because I'm a pastor. I would love to work with some people, even if it's just 4 or 5 people. I'd love to create resources to help people be healthier Christians. If that's something that's interesting, leave me a comment, let me know. Because again, I don't know who wants what. So I'm just trying to be a vessel to glorify God and help people. And if you want more Christian content, more spiritual, biblical content, check out my other channel, Dwell with Christ. If you type in Chris Jones, CHRYS Jones, Dwell with Christ, you'll find it. Or the URL is youtube.com/@Dwell with Christ, the @ symbol, Dwell with Christ. I have 2 channels. I plan to start posting on this one again. I stopped posting on this one because I made some diet content that did well, but I didn't want to make only diet videos or health videos. But I think this is important. I think Christians, we need a perspective on health. And so if that means I got to have a side channel where I talk about my health journey, I'm up for it. I wear an Apple Watch. I track my sleep. I track my eating. I do all that. So why not help you and me together? Why not build community as Christians around wellness and health? So I've talked a lot. If you stayed around, thank you. If not, hey, grace and peace, and I'll see you soon.